Hello, hello, welcome. Let me just get the TikTok starting. Hello, welcome. I hope everybody is good. Today is the end of our eclipse season. I hope everybody survived it. I will tell you, even as a Reiki master, it was hard for me. So I only can imagine how it was for others. But there was some tension in the air. But anyways, today will be a new moon. Congrats, and a partial solar eclipse. Well, I'm here in the United States, so I think we will see here, but some other parts of the world maybe not. Anyways, today we're talking not about that though. I think all the astrologers already mentioned that. So today we're talking about how to speak to men. Last time I did a video about what not to share, what kind of information not to share with men. So today is going to be what you should speak about with men and why is it important. Now I already did a few videos on this. I did a few videos about flirting, but so there are a couple videos, and I will put them in the description of this one, so watch them even more, to be even more kind of fluent when you're talking to men, and when you socialize with men, just to make it a really really good like communication between you two. But let me let's but today that's what we're talking about. On Thursday, I put a video on the roles of a woman, and the first role was the role of a woman. Please do watch it. This is important also, especially if you want to be a well-rounded, self-sufficient woman. You need to be good in all the roles. It's important. I actually was debating to do this video or the video of a woman, but anyways, it's there. You can watch it. If you could not find it, let me know. I will send it to you. All right. So let's start with the communication. And you might disagree with me. I don't mind really if you will disagree. It's fine. I just want you to listen, and to see where I'm coming from. I'm not sharing my opinion. I'm telling you how it's supposed to be energetically right. So how are you supposed to communicate with men in the correct way? Now, do I always communicate with men in the correct way? No, I don't. I mean, I am a human too, just like you. So I do make mistakes as well. Now, but this is how it should be, and I will explain why it should be like this, and what is and how to get there. Now, usually, well, not usually, but for some time, people used to start families, start socialize with people from up down. So we're going to talk about communicating from bottom up, and it used to be vice versa, from up to down. So how does it look? You meet a man, you look at him, and you're like, oh, okay, so he's rich, he's successful, I should talk to him. Then he's given you so you sharing the vision. You tell him, I'm looking for a husband, I'm ready to start a family. So second, and he's like, me too, I'm ready to start a family. Then he gives you the status, he kind of proposes to you. Then he's doing some kind of actions, buys you a ring or whatever, or buys you a house. Yeah, no, then you kind of, since he give you status, you start loving him for the status, and then he start doing actions, so he's buying you something, and then you guys you're intimate, and he provides security because now you're his wife, he gave you status already. Now, it was like this for many years, and probably, I don't know, but a lot of people were married off like this, or married off by just by thinking that they would suit each other. The couple is perfect for each other. I have nothing against it. I mean, sometimes I'm thinking that maybe it's even better when you are like really, you really thinking about like really analyzing the person instead of just going with your feelings. Now, the problem with these couples is that they start the marriage like this. They usually are not very compatible. They are compatible with their mind, but not physically. Usually, couples like this might have problems with having kids, might have problems in intimacy, might have problems, they like perfect love in the marriage. We just married because of some kind of outside sources, and yeah, and everything else is no matter. But if you want to build the communication with the man, if you want to really have that deep connection with the man, the connection that doesn't exhaust you, that doesn't drain you, but that really gives you power and strength, that you're talking to a man and you're like, you're flying, you have so much energy, you want to do so much, you're looking better, you're looking younger, you're like so charged with energy, then you need to start talking differently. Vice versa, not from up to bottom, but from bottom to up. And I will tell you how to do this and how does it look in real life, and then I will tell you what are the rules that you should follow when socializing with the man. So from bottom up is you. So there is 7 energy centers in everybody. There is more, but let's stick to 7 because everybody knows about them here and there, and I think that would be better. So there are 7 energy centers, and you need to follow them. So why should you follow them? Because if you will be talking about things like not in order, then it will not make a conversation anyhow. So for example, if I tell a man, just say I will pick a man, random man, and I will tell him, do you know, I love it when men buy me presents, and a man has no interest in me, so we did not connect on the second energy center. He's not feeling any kind of attraction, he's not sexually attracted to me. Now I'm telling him I want a present, which is it's third energy center or fifth energy center. You see, I am ahead of kind of like I'm rushing the situation. He will tell me, look, sounds like a you problem. I mean, I really don't care. So when you have a miscommunication like this with men, usually that's because your conversation is not flowing the normal pattern, the pattern that it's supposed to flow. And this is how you should start. You start with the root chakra, with the bottom one. The root chakra is your security. So you wouldn't talk to any man with whom you don't feel secure. Now, root chakra is dominantly in man, so security is provided by him. So a man approaches you, you feel like you can trust him, you feel secure around him, you can talk to him. So it starts like this, starts from the bottom, from the security. If you don't feel secure with the guy, if you feel like he's a little sketchy, if something is off, if you don't feel comfortable with him, you wouldn't be talking. You see, now if you would start from up to bottom, who knows? The guy could be an absolute crazy maniac and you're already married to him. And this is exactly what happened. A lot of couples were married and then they suddenly found out that the man is not really even even good enough to stick around him. Like a lot of aristocratic couples that get married and then the man would just gamble off the whole fortune and the diary and everything else. So again, you start from the bottom. So in the bottom, on your root chakra, you feeling comfortable with the man, you can talk to the man. This is the first one, the base. If you don't feel comfortable with the man or any kind of comfort, I'm not talking about that you're a little nervous. You should be a little nervous, yeah, especially if you're attracted to man. But you need to feel secure with him. You need to feel like it's not like he's not going to do something. He's not he's not threatening your life. Then the second one is the second chakra. The second chakra is dominant in women. Now, because it's dominant in women, it's a woman who needs to kind of to lure the man in. So with security, a man lures a woman. Woman with second chakra, it's a woman who lures a man in. And how does it sound? A man is sexually attracted to you. So and you obviously sexually attracted to him somehow. At least you're a little bit attracted to him. You know there is attraction. That's the only way you need to start the conversation. So you're talking to him, and what you're talking about on this level is flirting. You only flirt here. You don't tell him about that you're looking for marriage. You don't. You need to make sure a man is interested in you. You see, now if you will start with okay, what are you looking for? And he's like, well, I'm not sure yet. And you're like, well, I'm looking only for marriage. Are you ready for marriage? The guy will be like, my God, what I'm getting in, and he will finish this conversation very fast because of this, because there is no interest for him yet. Masculinity is very very selfish, as it should be, and so it's only interested in it's not only interested, but it has to have an incentive to continue the conversation. You see, even I need an incentive to continue the conversation with anybody. I only mention with men. So on this level, you only flirt. So once you feel secure with the man, you need to start flirting. Is the second one. And I will put the video on flirting. The flirting doesn't have to be really nasty or dirty or something. It's flirting. So it has to be light. It has to be not even interesting, but catchy, somewhat light, enjoying for both. It's like it's not seduction, it's flirtation. You must understand. So you're talking to him. You don't talk about any kind of your problems, because nobody really cares about your problems at this particular level. You don't talk about how anybody treated you bad, because again nobody cares. You only will scare people off. And you don't need that too. Why would you bring the heaviness in the conversation that you want to be light, that you want to be enjoyable right now at this moment? So anyways, this is where you start. You start with, so once you feel comfortable with the man, you need to flirt. And you flirt, and your conversation has to be somewhat sexual around you two. So between you two. So on this level, you only talk about two of you, nobody else. You don't bring up know your past experience. You don't bring up any kind of your sexual experiences, nothing like this, nothing that would anyhow compromise or bring any other phantoms into your conversation. So you're only talking about you two, and you're flirting. So there is a man, you don't know nothing about him. There is you, he doesn't know nothing about you, but there will be some kind of attraction. So you can talk about anything that's flirtatious, light, and only between you two. That's it. So nothing else. This on this level. Now, once you finish with this level of kind of a flirting, you always will have to have this conversation. Always will have to flirt. Always will have to follow this pattern. Now, once the flirtation will be, the stage of flirtation is over, the man will start to act. Now he's interested. He been talking to you for a while, like for a little bit. He really wants you. You really gave him the motivation. Now he really wants to, I wouldn't say possess you, but he wants to continue this conversation. Now he needs to act. We're moving up to the third energy center, and he needs to act. To continue this, because you could not be entertaining him all the time. You need to also be motivated to continue the conversation with him, because you're a self-sufficient woman. So what he does in this moment, he needs to do some kind of action or offer action, like, you want to go to lunch with me, or you want to have dinner with me, or do you want to do this? Now, his actions, so based on his actions, you will choose whether continue conversation with him or not. You see, it's like with security. If you don't feel secure with the man, you're not going even to have the conversation further. Now, based on his actions, again, you are not either continue conversation, not continue. So, for example, he will tell you, "Hey, you want to come over and we'll watch Netflix?" You have absolute right to not continue this conversation. But if your flirtations was going good, then the man will know that he will need to put an effort. You see, if your flirtation was basic, then his actions will be basic as well. Or if you started with some kind of problems, then he will be just will throw in like, "Hey, you want to you want to come over," or something. So a man will have to do some kind of actions. If a man is not, maybe he's a feminine man, and he's not offering any kind of actions, then you can suggest an action yourself and see how he will act. So, for example, while you're flirting, you can say something like, let's imagine you guys are flirting on the phone, and you can say something like, well, it would be nice to continue this conversation in person or something. And you will see the guy would say, "Oh my God, sure, let's have dinner. Are you available?" or something. It has nothing. It's not bad to suggest something. Now you can suggest, but you don't do actions. You see what he will, like a man, you allow him to kind of to play, because this is a game. Like the energy has to flow in and out, like this, both of you. If you will be doing only the actions, you will get exhausted, and the man will be like feeling useless and maybe overpowered if he's very masculine. So anyways, so he needs to do some kind of action, or he needs to pick up on your conversation and offer some kind of actions. And then you will decide, should I continue the conversation or not with this man? So he might suggest to do something, and again, if you don't like what he's suggesting, you can offer something else. So he's telling you, "How about the dinner tomorrow?" And you will tell, "Well, how about lunch?" I don't like. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. Like at one point, I only used to go to lunches with man because dinner is dinner. It's like 3-4 hours. I mean, I don't know, and it's long and it's somewhat seductive. So not with everybody, anyways. But you can suggest, you can say, well, you know what, I would rather prefer lunch because I wake up early, so this and that. It's like you you so you can suggest something, but you need to see whether he's doing the action. So now he invited you, you suggested to go to lunch, he made the plans, he comes, he picks you up, you continue the conversation with him. Now if on this stage he's not doing nothing, then the conversation should stop right away. You don't need to tell him how much you love him if he could not even make an action of coming to you and doing something to you. Like sometimes I hear the stories. I mean, as you know, I'm in a couple groups on Facebook, and girls over there, they're like, I've been talking to this guy for 5 months. 5 months you've been talking to him. I mean, like, we're so close, we're soulmates. You haven't even seen the guy. What kind of soulmate are you? I mean, might as well talk to ChatGPT like this. There's no point in talking to anybody who you haven't met. So the conversation should a flow, like have a flow. You can't be stuck on one energy center. You have to go up, you have to develop every single time. So every conversation has to go through stages of development. And so the man is telling you, okay, so let's have lunch. Or if he doesn't, so he will tell you, let's have lunch one of these days, and you're like, sure, let's. And then he doesn't follow up. So you guys didn't make plans. He just offered to have lunch, but he doesn't make plans. But yet he tries to talk to you, he tries to flirt to you. You need to stop the flirting right away until the actions will come. You see, a man needs to show that he's ready to do something for you before you will continue entertaining him. Otherwise, you will be staying on the same second energy center, boosting him with energy, flirting with him, entertaining him, and he's not doing nothing. You need to stop. You need to know when to stop. I flirt. I love to flirt. I flirt a lot, but I flirt to, like, I don't have patience. So I can flirt and flirt really good for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. That's entertaining to me. If a man, after this kind of a brief conversation, is not like, really, it never happened to me that a man would not suggest to meet. But if he would not, then I would be like, okay, listen, it was nice talking to you. I have to go. And if he within like couple days will not invite me somewhere or like or offer to do something, then that's it, we're not talking no more. I don't understand why would I talk to somebody who's not doing the actions. Then he's not sexually attracted to me enough to do actions. You see, if he's not, then why would I waste his time and my time? It doesn't make no sense. So, and usually when you both are attracted, the conversation will flow so good and the guy will invite you very fast. I'm telling you, the best relationship I had were like this. They flowed very, very smoothly. Couple flirtatious kind of replics. A man is like, let's meet, and then then the feelings are growing, and it's so on and on like this. All right. So I hope I've made this clear. So you have to make sure that the man does the actions. You can suggest the action, but he still needs to do the action, and you need to the action needs to be up to whatever you like to do, up to your standards. But you're not mentioning the standards yet. You just kind of flowing with the flow. So once a man did the actions or offered the actions, you guys went, let's say, somewhere. So he took you on a couple dates here and there. Now only you're talking about some kind of feelings towards him. Remember, fourth chakra is a dominantly feminine chakra, so you are the one who's luring him in. He lured you in with his actions. You're luring him in now with your feelings. So you can say something like on this, after he did the actions, you can say something like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so good that we met. I really was looking forward to it. Or, oh, thank you for the dinner. This place is amazing, and the company is just so so charming. So you showing the appreciation, you showing the feelings. Can you do a video on how to handle a male boss at work? Yeah, male or female? Maybe I will think about that. That's actually a good topic. But let's talk about this. Let's continue about the conversation between men and women. So once you are with the so when you had some kind of experience with the man, you can show him the appreciation. You can show him. Don't talk about that you're in love with him. That you again don't talk to him about anything else. No standards. No talking about that you want to get married. Just only enjoying yourself. Don't rush the horses, because if you will tell him right now you want to get married and you guys just went on one dinner, he will think you're desperate. That I mean that you're super cheap because he only bought you a dinner. Now you're jumping into marriage or living in with him together. So, but what you can say, you can tell him how you enjoyed the company with him, how you enjoyed being together, how you enjoyed his company, how you really appreciate that he, maybe he's super busy and that he took the time out of his day. Now, once he did this, so this is what you're talking about. Now, once he lured him in, once he understood that he can make you happy, that you really enjoy your company, with his company, that he really could. That this could be an ongoing thing, that he's happy, you're happy. Now in this moment he will offer you some kind of status, so it doesn't happen right away, but he can offer something like, so this is the throat chakra, this is your status chakra. He can say something like, you know what, why don't we have it again, why don't we have another date? He's offering you another like status at this moment, a status of maybe another date. Or in future, that would be, he could tell, why don't you be my girlfriend? I like you so much that, and then he will propose. So this is the status that he's given on the throat chakra. You're not rushing into anything without this natural flow. Now, when he's offering you this some kind of thing, you are like, sure, but on the throat chakra here, you can really talk about your standards. Only here you can talk about your standards when a man is giving you some kind of status. So how could that sound? For example, you can tell him like you really enjoyed his company, you really enjoyed the dinner. He would love to see you for another kind of, maybe another dinner or something else. You can tell him that I would love that, and here you can speak about your standards. You can say something like, I would love that, but maybe we can do a better restaurant, or because I'm kind of used to being in a different company, or maybe we can do or you can speak about money on this level. You can say, I would love to, but or you can suggest something like, we can go shopping next time if you so much want to see me. I mean, again, up to your comfort level. I live in Miami, so over here, these conversations are normal. But you see, on this level, talking about shopping is normal. The guy is interested in you. He knows that he can make you happy. Now you can express how else he can make you happy. If you would start with conversation about what he can buy you and what you want, and you want to go shopping when he's not even sexually interested in you, that would be strange, again, as I repeated. Now, so once he will be like, okay, sure, yes, I don't mind. Then you can share your vision with him. Then you can say, I'm looking for somebody who is serious. I'm looking for somebody who I can maybe have some kind of serious relationship with, or somebody who I just want to I don't know, who will spoil me or something. So this, you sharing your vision. Again, you don't share your vision with the man who's not yet there. So often I see women sharing their vision with men who didn't even make the action yet. So they're already over here and he's not even here yet. You see, they jumped the horses very, very fast. And the man is like, okay, so I don't need to do nothing. She's already ready to get married or whatever. Or on the contrary, he would be like, oh, she wants me to be her sugar daddy. I didn't even ask her to go out yet, and she's already jumping in she's assuming that I'm going to buy her something. So again, this is easy miscommunication. You need to flow the communication naturally. And after, no, it's just nasty. I mean, seriously. And so once you tell him that, then you kind of develop together. But this is natural flow. This is how it's supposed to go all the time. So you starting from bottom and you're going up and up and up. Once he understands your vision for the future, and he's giving you some kind of status, he understands your vision for the future, then you're on the same page and you can develop together. You start again from bottom up like this with every single conversation. Again, do not rush the conversation ahead of where it should be. Or for example, if a man is constantly only wanting to flirt, only wants to talk about some kind of sexual stuff, and he does not bring the conversation forward, then you need to stop. If a man, for example, he tells you, "I would love to," on the first energy center, he tells you, "I would love for you to be my girlfriend," and you're like, "I would love that too, I would really like you. That would be so perfect, And he will be like, "Well, what will it take me to be your man?" And you can tell him, "Well, I will be honest with you. I need somebody who can provide for me." And you telling this to a man, and he's like, "No, I don't think so." Then again, you're not starting the conversation again. You see, if a man backs up on one of his levels, then you don't need to converse with him no more. You don't need to prove him anything. You don't need to try to persuade him with anything. It's just like you need to. The flow of energy has to be natural. You see, if it's not naturally flowing, then don't force the flow. It will not happen. Why would a man, if a man wants you to be his girlfriend, but yet you tell him, "I do want to be provided for," and he's like, "Oh no," then he's not motivated enough. There is not enough strength in you to pull it through. You see, now if you will agree to be just his girlfriend and not to be supported, you will betray yourself. You will start betraying yourself, he will start betraying you. Because this is not exactly what you want. You want to be supported, but you're not strong enough to pull it through. You don't have energy to motivate him. Now, if a man really, really wants to be with you, he will support you. Trust me, he will. He will do anything to make you happy and for you to stay in your life as long as he's capable of providing that. Now, that's another conversation. If he's not capable of providing and you are demanding certain things of him, I mean, it's just he will just back up because he just couldn't. No, if he's young, he will probably go and get another job just to impress you. And I saw men like this, but you need to challenge a man to a particular level. Watch the video on the masculinity, but again, be smart with your decision. But as a conversation flows, it's always from bottom up, and don't rush with the conversation. So again, let's go. So it always starts on the root chakra, on the first energy center. First energy center is security. You feel secure with the man. You feel like you might like him. You start talking to him. He approaches you, or you can approach him. It doesn't really matter who approach who. You just need to know when to stop if you are approaching the man. So then you start talking. You start flirting with every man. You start conversation with flirting, with nothing else. Flirting. Let me repeat one more time, again and again. Again, you want to connect with the man as a man and a woman. Nothing else. If it's a man who you know that you will not connect as a man and a woman, then you don't flirt. You don't talk to him at all, unless he's some kind of maybe business associate or something. So you flirt and you see whether there is some kind of sexual, going on at all, whether you like even this man or not, whether he will like you. Now, if you both are kind of, the conversation goes good, the flirting is just perfect, then you either suggest that it needs to kind of grow into something, maybe maybe a date or something, or he will suggest and he will need to act. If he doesn't act, you stop the conversation right away. You don't entertain the guy in hopes that he will come up with the idea. Men are very action-oriented. They act like this, they don't think twice. They act on very fast, like I tell you, as a person who's been engaged maybe 7 times already, I'm telling you, men act very fast. You just need to know how to navigate them. So you need to show that you're serious. If a man is not doing any kind of actions, then what's the point of even talking to him, to continue talking to him? You're only wasting your energy on something that's not happening. And if a man is telling, "Well, these days I'm so busy, but I will come back in a couple of weeks and we can meet," then tell him, "Listen, write me when you are in town and we will definitely meet. But I would prefer to meet before we continue this conversation." Like this, no man will ever get upset. And I always do that. I don't continue conversation unless there is some kind of actions from a man. Now, if a man is really serious, but he's far away, maybe he can send you flowers, or maybe he can send you a gift or something. And that was with me. I was traveling, and the guy was wanted to talk to me, but he was in another country. So obviously, how are we going to meet? We couldn't because he couldn't leave his business. So he ordered me flowers one time. One time he ordered me breakfast. I had a massive headache, so he ordered me some breakfast. Not even sure how he did it because, but anyways, he did it somehow. He managed it, and then I was in another country. He sent me a little gift because I had a birthday. So it was really sweet of him. You see, even though we were not physically meeting, he was doing actions. He was showing that he's interested. He was motivated to do something to keep me interested in flirting with him again and again. Now, if a man will not do nothing, no more talking, no more conversing, the man, for all you know, could be married, and he's just you just entertaining him while he's bored with at work or with his with his wife or something. It's like I live in this apartment building, and there are a lot of employees here, employees that I guess bored at work, and they flirt with everybody, with every single one. And I never flirt with them because I know what they do. They're bored, so they need somebody to entertain them while they're at work. Anyways, but you don't. No actions, no flirting. That's it. Now, if there are actions, then you obviously show your appreciation. Don't be ungrateful person, even if those. So you don't demand actions. You allow a man to do the actions that he wants to do at this point. Appreciate the actions that he did. Obviously, he tried to. You don't need to tell him. So if he's inviting you for lunch, and the restaurant is not up to your kind of standard yet, it's the first time you're meeting him. Don't discourage him. Still be grateful that he did the action, but then when he will propose to go on another day, then you can tell him he's proposing to go on another day, and you tell him the vision. Sure, but let's try this place, or I'm used to go to this kind of places instead. So if you can, again, now if you guys went out and you've been so grateful, and you're like, yes, thank you, it was amazing time, you're so interesting, you're so nice, and he does not propose to have another date or to meet again, there is no more talking and having conversations. The guy is not motivated enough. Maybe he saw you and he's not impressed. Then you don't talk to the guy. Don't. What's the point? Increase your energy better. Do my meditations and increase your energy so he will get motivated again. Instead of you writing him, hey, you want to meet again. It's very desperate. It's unnecessary. All right. So once you kind of once he's inviting you, then you telling him what you're looking for. Only on this level, after already all of this that you went through, only then you telling him about your standards. You see, I am a mentor, and I have clients, and I live in Miami, so I have clients who are very ambitious women who want to have men give them this and this and this. Now, this is the mistake that they often do, and I always make sure that they don't do it. They jump the hoop. You see, when they talking to a man, they don't start. They don't go through they don't allow him to do any kind of actions or even ask them for anything, and they already ahead of the time. Look, you want to talk to me? You have to buy me something. A man at that point is shocked. He's like you can only speak to a man like this only if he's completely not on your level, who's so consistent, who's like, what can I do to get you to talk to me? Who's like, for example, maybe a gentleman who's much older and you're super young and beautiful, and then you can tell him, yeah, listen, a present would do good right now, something. So something like this. I don't like that's different. But if you're talking to a man who is hot, successful, young, and you are hot, successful, young, don't rush with demands right away. Let him get interested first. Let him even see whether he sees you with him, like him with you, like this. Only then you can demand. And often they start with, what, I'm expensive, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm telling them that you're rushing. Don't rush don't jump the gun. Hold on, have a conversation with the guy, see whether you're even interested in him. And this is the mistake I see often. It's always two ways. Either a woman is entertaining the guy for too long, for too much, without any kind of actions on his part, or a woman is usually a woman energy of fire ahead of themselves, ahead of the guy. They're like, okay, so I want this, when you will get me, then we will talk. And the guy's like, I don't understand why this is happening, because it just doesn't make no sense. It was an issue with me also, but not exactly in particular. I used to say at one point, as soon as I start talking to the guy, I would be like, I'm looking for marriage. Or I remember, I would not, like, if I would talk to somebody. I used to live in New York, so there were a lot of men who are, who were either Muslim or Jewish, and I have nothing against it. I mean, I'm Christian, so I can date either one. But I know they prefer to marry their kind. So I would tell them in advance, before even flirting, before anything. I'm like, I know that you guys don't marry, out of your culture, and like, I don't. Are you going to, if we like each other, are you going to marry me or not? Like this, and had, before we even flirted, before anything, and the guy would be like, what? And I mean, I understand why they were scared, because I would talk about my vision and about status long before I even know that I'm interested in the guy, you see. And it was a huge mistake on my part, I know. I mean, I was putting a lot of stress on the relationship, for me, not even for the guy. I mean, I was already sitting there and kind of projecting that he will not choose me because I'm not of his religion or of his culture. So again, don't do that. Start normally, and let me just go over again. And if you have, and then I will tell you what are the rules, kind of the rules, unspoken rules, then you should follow. Oh, and also, okay. So again, just to make it clear, you always start from the bottom up and not from up to bottom. No, don't talk to the guy because his status is good, because he's wealthy, he's successful, but you're not even sure whether you're interested in him. Don't start with that. I mean, date men that are in your circle, kind of, but don't start with that. Don't start, because it's a road to failure, really. So start with bottom up, and so you feel secure with the man. You start talking to him. You're talking only flirting. Don't tell him your problems. Don't tell him your life story. Nobody needs to hear this at this moment. Only flirt. The guys is cute, you cute, just a little bit flirtatious kind of talk. Then after you flirting, he needs to do some kind of action. You can suggest, if he will act on it, then act. Again, the action doesn't have to be let's meet. He can just send you flowers. A lot of times men just send me flowers. It's like, I usually even bring the flirting into this. Like, he will be like, oh, you're so hot. I'm like, what would be hot if you would send me flowers? And it's up to him really if he will do or not. But I would suggest, and I would not get upset if he didn't, because obviously, if he doesn't send me flowers, then I'm just not motivating him enough. Then he's not as sexually attracted to me if I would want him to be. So again, and then he does the actions. If he doesn't do the actions, I don't speak to him. Then after he does the actions, I appreciate the actions. Obviously, the man did something, so I'm grateful. I'm not just, I'm not overly grateful, but I'm grateful. And then he's offering something else, and I'm telling him what I expect. Now, let me tell you something. This conversation should be even if you are a married couple, so the same way. For example, you want to get something from a man. So a man is coming home and you're like, you feel secure. He's in a good mood. You feel secure. So you flirt a little bit with him. And then he's like, oh, you're so amazing. I don't know, like he's ready to do some kind of action. And you're like, yes, I really do love you. I really have so happy to be with you. And then you can ask him for something. You see, but you start again with flirting, and then some kind of feelings, and then you ask him for something that you have a vision. Like, for example, you could say, what I was thinking, maybe we should go somewhere on a trip. I would love if you would take me on a trip or something. Again, like starting from bottom up. You don't start like a man comes into the room and you're like, what? You haven't bought me a present in so long. Or you never took me nowhere. So again, starting from bottom up, right? And again, if a man doesn't act, then you act accordingly. But don't hold him accountable just because he doesn't act on something really, really fast. If he was always good and now he couldn't buy you something, then maybe it just wasn't the right time, or maybe he really couldn't buy. Don't judge him on this particular action. But again, this conversation like this should flow every single time, whether you're married, whether you've been together for 20 years, whether you just starting talking, or whether you're just like in a dating, always the same way, always the same way, every single time. A man is texting you, don't tell him your problems right away. Start with a little flirting. Oh, you know what? So I was thinking about you. And he will be like, oh, what you were thinking about? And you're like, oh, you don't want to know, or something. So like this little flirting, then he's like, motivated a little bit to do some kind of action. And he's like, well, yeah, do you want to meet? And you're like, yeah, why not? I was thinking to go here and there. So anyways, always starts like this, always the same. All right, so let's get to somewhat unspoken rules when you talk to men, because I think this is also important. The first one is, so obviously the first rule is always follow the pattern from bottom up, always, not from up to bottom. If you are at work and some man is super smart and you're really like, oh my God, this guy is so smart, he would be a perfect partner for me. I mean, really, you're choosing the man, not a colleague for science project. I mean, you're like, see what you like. You need to be attracted to the man, not just because he's smart. I mean, if he's smart, let him be your friend. You guys can get together and discuss some kind of conspiracy theories or politics or something, but he doesn't have to be your man to do that. I mean, he could be just your friend. So again, from bottom up, always. The second rule is also very important, is always to talk only about you two. Always about you two, not about anybody else. Don't bring others into your relationship. Now, often I see that man and woman, they try to kind of, a weaker man, a weaker woman, they all try to bring in others. Like, for example, if a man has children, a woman will try to be considerate and start asking about the children, or vice versa. A man will start asking, hey, how's your kids? How's this? How's that? Or if a woman ever mentioned her problems, he will be like trying to trauma bond with her and, hey, how did that problem? Did you solve it? Did you do this? Like, and the woman is like, oh, he's so considerate. He's so nice. Look, let me tell you something. There was this meme that I saved even on my phone and often used to read. And it basically says something like this: help people once, and they will always remember you when they need help next time. So don't bond with anybody on that. Don't bond on. So if you are asking a man, how are your kids? Did you took your daughter to the dentist you were going to take? He will only talk about his kids because he will think that's what gives you pleasure. That you really enjoy discussing his kids and their problems. And if you really truly enjoy discussing his kids, then my question to you: are you looking to a man, or are you looking to get the man, or are you looking to become a stepmom to somebody? Like, you need to, there should be only conversation between you and him, at least in the beginning, for all the time, like non-stop, only talk about you two. Everything else doesn't matter. If you want a man to prioritize you, prioritize yourself. He can bring up his kids, don't let them linger too long. Ask a couple questions and move on again, back to you and him. Otherwise, you will become a crying shoulder that he will complain. And I saw this. I saw it with my best friend at that time. She was dating a man with a child, and she thought she liked him. Plus, he was a really great potential for a husband kind of material. He had a daughter, and he had an ex-wife, the mother of the daughter. And so she thought, my friend, that she would get into his kind of good grace by being considerate about the girl. So she would always ask, she would buy her presents. She was like doing a little too much, I would say. And so what he was doing, he understood that she's really understanding about the girl, about the child, and everything. So he would really start using it. He was really abusing it almost. Like he would say, or he would like, oh, can we go on Sunday? I wanted to go try this place. And he's like, no, I can't. And she's like, why not? You're not working. He's like, oh, I'm spending time with the daughter. Checkmate. She has nothing to say. She's basically like, okay. Because she was always so considerate. You see, if it would be with me, I would be like, oh, okay, that's fine. I will go with my girl. So I will go with a friend of mine. So the guy would understand that I'm not sitting and waiting for him. She, on the other hand, would sit there and brew and they like get all upset. So again, you're talking only between you and him. So you're talking about you and him, nobody else. Yes, there are kids. Yes, he has maybe problems with parents. Yes, he maybe have problems at work, but this has nothing to do with you yet. Remember, you don't even have a status to share the vision with him. Why would you even talk about? Especially if you are not a wife, if you are not a fiance, it does not concern you. Any of his problems has nothing to do with you, just like your problems has nothing to do with him. Again, if you are trying to project some kind of vision on your man, and he's still over here flirting with you, he didn't even do any kind of actions, he will just leave. He will not stay around for too long. And good for him, let him go. Good for you too, obviously, because you got rid of this man who is not ready to act as fast as you act. All right, so only talking about you too. The third rule is the serious subjects should be only 25% of your time. I would say this should be a rule for your whole life. Don't linger in serious kind of conversations and problems for too long. It doesn't do nothing good. I mean, if I have some kind of issues to solve, I solve them and move on. I don't think about them. Like, what's the point? Honestly, what's the point? My energy is what keeps me going, what keeps me productive, what keeps me prosperous. If I will be hanging in problems, yeah, I mean, where will I be in life? So, though the same with the man. A man wants to know that he makes you happy. A man wants to make sure that you're enjoying his company, that you're enjoying yourself in his company. So if you are constantly like talking about serious conversation, you bring this heaviness, a man will not hang around for too long. This is to the video types of woman that a man will not stay in a long-term relationship with. A woman who's heavy like this, a woman who's constantly looking like there is the nothing pleases her, no, always constant problems or always constant task that needs to be. So 25% you can discuss something that is serious. Obviously, if you guys live together or have children or something, there are like serious conversations that should be, but it's only 25%. Don't abuse that rule. Don't go over it. The fourth rule is, I think I should mention it because I see it often that it's really. So the rule is don't try to fill the quiet space. Sometimes less talk is better. And I see it often. I see sometimes when I go to restaurants, I see people who are on like first, second dates, and they sit there and they feel like almost nervous to be quiet. And I remember a time when I was like this. I felt like, because I study etiquette, so I know that there shouldn't be really quiet space, quietness at the table. That's the conversation should flow, 1 second. And if the guy would not speak, I would be like a chatterbox, talking until at one point I'm exhausted. I'm like, let's go home. I'm already done, just take me home because I could not talk no more. And it was wrong of me. It was wrong because nobody was, I didn't had to do this. I didn't had to entertain him all the time, Like when you start talking, like one guy told me, I said, you don't talk much. And he's like, yeah, because you talk a lot. I didn't know. I thought you liked talking. And I'm like, no, I'm exhausted. So what I want to say is that don't try to fill up the space. Don't try to talk too much. Don't like. Sometimes it is better to sit in quiet and then just feel the person, And from here, the last rule that I wanted to mention is we socialize energetically. So whatever you say has little impact if you don't mean it, So again, everything that you say has to be energetically charged by it. If you will start to flirt and you don't feel any kind of attraction, any kind of lightness, that flirtations will come very, very crumbled, very, like it wouldn't be natural, Why I'm so good at flirting? Because it comes natural to me. I have a lot of energy of water. I have a lot of pleasure in me, so it comes natural. I can flirt with anything. I can flirt with this glass if I want to, and the glass will reciprocate. But if somebody doesn't feel like this, it will be very hard to flirt. And this is what I'm telling you. The women who want to be gold diggers, if you really want to be a gold digger, don't fake it. Say to a man as it is, Don't try to pretend that you like him if you don't. A man is not the man are not stupid. I mean, neither man nor woman, they're not stupid. They all feel energy. Energy is very felt from far away. So they know whether you're faking it or you're serious and sincere. Why men are so much into me, at least on that stage, is because I'm sincere. I really enjoy flirting. When I don't enjoy flirting, it doesn't come out good. So I don't. I tell, as soon as I'm tired of this conversation, I tell them, look, I'm done here. Can we I have to go. And nobody ever get upset with me. So also, if you are telling him your expectations, your visions, your status, but you don't mean it, again, it will come off really. The man will not take it seriously. Why? Because it doesn't come out naturally. It has to be really energetically charged. If I am going with the man to eat pizza and I don't even eat pizza, but he's taking me to eat pizza, And I will be like, well, thank you very much. It was nice lunch, and I didn't eat nothing. I mean, it would be super fake. I obviously didn't enjoy myself. Why would I even say something like that? So he will feel it. He will, even though I will say, yeah, I really like, yeah. He will be like, are you sure? Do you? And it happened to me too a few times. So, anyways, don't fake it. We all feel energy, and energetically, like, you could not fake energy. You cannot. You can you can force particular energy out, but again, it needs some kind of work on that. All right. So that's on the rules. Do follow these rules. Again, there is more to this conversation, but I only have an hour, so I don't want to overcrowd it. I'm going to put a couple videos in the description. Please do watch them. Those videos on flirting and everything. Flirting is very easy, and every woman should know how to flirt for herself, not for a man. Obviously, she needs to enjoy. If you want to be with a man, if you want to have a partner, you need to enjoy being with the man. You need to enjoy conversing with him. You could not expect him to do all the job. You need to kind of to put a little bit of effort yourself, and that effort needs to give you pleasure. You can't really expect a man to drop the whole world in front of you if you are not even enjoying him, if you are not enjoying even his company. He will feel it. He will feel that like, there are only very few men who know that a woman doesn't like them and will still try to conquer her just to prove himself, just for his own ego. I mean, I have nothing against those men. Up to them, obviously, and I had a couple of those admirers as well. I mean, but they knew that I have no interest in them whatsoever, but they just wanted to kind of to be around in my life. Whatever, it was fine with me. As long as they didn't expect anything, that was fine. Now, but for the most part, men who are self-sufficient, who are strong, who are successful, they will feel it, and they will be like, well, why should I do it? She doesn't even like me that much. Why should I even do anything if she's not expect nothing, if she's not wanting to be with me, kind of like that. All right, so that's it. Ask your questions if you have. If not, so again, always follow for the rules. Always follow the pattern from bottom up, never from up to bottom. If you think the guy is smart, or if you think the guy is perfect because he's an aristocrat, and you always wanted to marry an aristocrat, look, you can get into serious problems unless being an aristocrat yourself is all you want, and all you want is just to marry to a good family. Everything else is not important for you. Then go for it. But if you really want to connect with the man as a man and a woman, really develop together, then maybe just his aristocracy is not enough. Maybe there needs to be a little more to that. Again, flirt with him. Who knows? Maybe you guys will be really instantly attracted to each other, and his status would be just a cherry on top of delicious cake. All right, so always talk about you two. Do not involve other people. Do not involve any other problems. I used to have this man. He was not my man, but we used to date for a little bit. And the first date, when we went on the first date, he had some kind of problems. He had the problems with his siblings. Something about inheritance. Something, I'm not sure. So I felt like there was something heaviness in him, and I asked him, "What's the problem?" I don't know why I asked him, but I did ask, and that time I was not as educated, as smart as I am now. And he's like, well, he told me this story. So next time we met, I'm like, and he was telling for like 2 hours, I guess. And so next time I asked him out of politeness only, I'm like, well, how did it go? So he again started talking, all his frustration, all this kind of mentoring that I'm doing now, I was doing for him for free, and I couldn't understand why I like the guy, but now I'm super exhausted by him every time I see him. So then he started texting me, you know what happened? My brother told me this, my brother told me that. And I basically cut short. You see, I spoiled the relationship from start. Why? Because I involved something that doesn't really concern me, that really, I could have stopped him. I could have said, okay, I understand, but you know what, let's change the subject because it's kind of heavy. I could have done it. I mean, I'm sure the guy would appreciate it because I'm sure he didn't like to talk about that much either. But I became his unspoken kind of shoulder to cry about problems with his siblings and about the inheritance, when I really never even wanted to be that, and he really didn't want me to be that. But somehow I pushed him into this situation. All right. So again, don't bring anybody in. If you think that you are such a good person and you want to you want to be understanding girlfriend, okay, you know what, no, that doesn't work. You will always be an understanding person in his life. Like yesterday I was rewatching Holiday with Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz. I love that woman, so funny. But like Kate Winslet, what is Iris? Her role was with that guy. I don't know. Anyway, so but that's what she was. She was an understanding kind of girlfriend wannabe. She thought if she would be so good and so understanding, he will choose her. No, he never. He only chose her when he needed her. So don't bring only talk about you two serious subjects only 25% of the time. I would say even less. The less the possible, you know, as soon as you're done with serious subject, move on. Don't try it again, even when you're talking seriously about something. So unless it's a pressing matter, start with bottom up. So if there is something like, for example, you need a couple $1,000 to solve an issue, start again with the man from bottom up. So flirt with him a little bit, you know, like see whether he's comfortable to talk about this, and only then ask. But if a man never acted and he's like, well, why are you not talking to me no more? You can tell him straight, you know, you don't need to kind of to go around and around. You can tell him, well, I'm not sure, you know, we're not meeting, you're not doing nothing, I'm not sure why we should talk. So that's normal. Don't try to fill the quiet spaces. Again, sometimes talking less is better. And we socialize energetically, no matter what you will say and how you will say, unless you feel it, men will feel it as well. So, but if you want to be fluent and kind of in conversing with the man, then you need to work on your feminine energy. A feminine woman will always know how to talk to men. Why? Because it would come naturally to her. She will naturally be like this with men in her life. And to do that, you can do meditations on my YouTube channel, or you can definitely need to do my course. You can come and work with me, and we will develop your femininity together. All right, that's it. Please do ask questions if you have any. Please, I do inspire you all. I do ask you all to watch the video from Thursday. It's the roles of a woman. You see, when you have a balanced life with all four roles present, then you will have no problem socializing with anybody. Then everything will be natural to you. Why? Because it's like all the muscles in your body are well developed. You know, you don't have a stronger arms and weaker legs, or you don't have, like, everything is strong, everything is perfect. Your body is very fluid and flexible because all the muscles are really like in shape, in order. So the same in your life. If all four roles in your life are seriously developed, you become a woman who is comfortable in any situation, who can develop her femininity or develop her masculinity, who can talk to men, who cannot talk to men. It's like really a woman who is like, I don't know, like a perfect creature that everybody wants to be around. But so you need to work on. And if you think that your only role is to be a perfect wife, no, you're wrong. You have four roles and you have to be perfect in all of them. And you need to make sure that you dedicate enough time for that. So do watch, especially if you're a woman, if you're inspired to be a successful feminine woman, then definitely watch that video. Again, it came out on Thursday. All right, that's it on this subject. I hope it was helpful. Please send it to anybody who needs to hear this. Again, don't start with conversations that have no place yet. I don't know how to, like, I have clients, and the clients that had issues with men and started following the pattern that I'm giving them always from bottom up, they are really successful with men. They're successful with putting their point across, with putting I wouldn't say demanding, but with expressing their desires and ideas with no problems. And men are actually listening to what they want and giving it to them. Why? Because they're expressing those desires and ideas in the right time, in the right moments of time. You see, and this is crucial. You can't really be demanding something without a man being interested in you. You can't be. You see, you must understand how important it is. Everything is at the right time, and the right time is in the conversation is when both parties are somewhat interested. The same is with the man. If a man will tell you before you started flirting, if he will come up to you and he's like, "Look, I want to marry you," and you're like, you would you would not probably even flirt with him, because you will feel threatened, you will feel insecure, unless there is some kind of something going on over there. But again, it's on both sides. Be smart, flow the conversation naturally. Don't expect something from a man if you are not raising that kind of that interest in him. Don't expect him to do something if you didn't do nothing. Again, this men usually who are desperate, they try to kind of impress a woman who's not interested in them. A man who is not, who is interested, who is interested in himself, who is successful himself, he will really he will not appreciate a woman who does not appreciate him, who does not even interested in him. All right, that's it. Is my New Jersey love resurfaced. If there are no questions, let's enjoy Sunday. Remember, today will be new moon later on, and a solar eclipse. So stay calm, stay cool. Don't do rash decisions. It's eclipse season is a good time to observe and to observe what comes to the surface. But that's you don't need to do actions. All right. Bye, TikTok. Thank you for being here. I will see you next Sunday at 11. And I'll see YouTube. Somebody send me a message over there. Okay, never mind. I'll see you too, YouTube. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Please send this video to anybody. I'm grateful for your following. Please do comment. Please ask questions. If you have any kind of suggestions for future videos, send them to me. And I will see what can be done. Bye, everybody. Enjoy Sunday.